Hello, I'm Eli for Edu for Java, and this is tutorial number 6 of Basic Java instruction or sentence switch. Let's start with a small program I've made. This program uses a scanner, which we had already seen in past tutorials, if you remember. Here is the import of the class scanner. When we want to use a class, we usually have to import it first. It has a lot of system.out. It prints on the console a menu which gives two options: add two numbers or subtract one number to another. This sentence leaves a space in between. This prints ingresar opción, insert an option. Notice it doesn't have an ln, so the next line will be written in the same line. This means that the option is going to be written in the same line as insert option. Till we write an option and press enter, the execution will be stopped. The number will be kept in the variable option. It's a type int variable. Once we know the option, we are going to do another print asking for the first number, another scanner asking for the number, the same with the second number, another scanner to ask for the second number, and we declare variable resultado result, which is empty. In this variable, we're going to keep the result. We ask which option did we choose. This is the one we chose. And if option equals 1, this double equal means equal. If you remember, 1 equal means assignment. Okay, so if option equals 1, it will come this way, and it will add the two numbers we asked for. If it's not 1, let's say it's 2, it will subtract both numbers. Finally, we're going to print on the console the result. Mostrar resultado. Let's run and see what happens. Here we can see the menu we had written and the space we had left here. Ingresar opción, insert an option. Let's write option 1, 2 plus 3 equals 4. Okay, it works correctly. Another execution, option 2. Insert the first number, 4 minus 1, 3. Okay, it works too. Let's do something a bit more complicated. Let's add 2 more options. I've just added the option multiply and divide. Now in insert option, you can choose between 1, 2, 3 and 4. The two numbers we're asking for don't change either because there are also two numbers. This is what changed. If it's 1, this is correct. In the case it's not 1, there are more options. We're going to do an if else. And we're going to ask if option equals 2. If option equals 2, this is what we're going to do. Resultado igual x minus y. If it could be 3 also or 4, we should write another if. If option equals 3, it will be, we will want to multiply. We're going to multiply, and if not, we're going to divide. Apparently everything is okay. Let's try it. Option 1. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Let's try the third option. 3 multiplied by 4 equals 12. Lastly, we're going to try option 4. 7 divided by 2 equals 3. It would be 3 something, but because we are working with integers, it will be 3. Nice program with if. But this tutorial is about switch, so we're going to do this, but in another way. Let's choose the instruction switch. Switch has this format here. This key is the variable which will establish the selection. Switch is just like an if, and it also works over the flow control of the program. But instead of using Boolean conditions and true or false, we write here an expression. In our case, we're going to put a variable equals option, but it could be any expression which had as a result a countable type. In this case, it's numeric. In the case option equals 1, in the case option 2, we would do another thing. In the case option 3, we need another case. In the case option 4, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4. In option 1, everything inside here will be executed here. In between case 1 and break, everything will be done. If option is 2, what will be executed is everything inside here between case 2 and break. The same with 3 and with 4. If it's not any of these, it will go automatically to default. Anything written here will be executed. And it will finish. To do this, let's copy what we want to do from the if of before. Option 1 to add, option 2 to subtract, option 3 multiply, and in case of option 4, divide. If none of the others are executed, then this will be executed, and we could write error in option. This will be shown on the console. As I told you, this switch will replace this. Here I have an error. Java tells me that resultado result is not initialized. Java has taken a look at the flow control. If we come here, and here there is no problem. But what happens if we come here? Resultado is not initialized. We could potentially get to a variable which was never initialized. Int resultado has nothing inside. The easy way is to initialize it to 0. And it would already have a result. Let's run the program. Let's see if everything is okay. Again, sum two numbers, option 1, 2 plus 2, 4. Option 2, 5 minus 2 equals 3. Option 3, multiplication. 2 multiplied by 4 equals 8. And lastly, 5, no, 15. Oops, here I committed an error. I wrote 15, which is not a valid option. If it is asking for the numbers, this is not very nice, but it says error in the option. It has come out this way by default. Okay, it's okay for an example. Let's continue. Lastly, option 4. 9 divided 3 equals 3. With this, we can finish the tutorial about switch. I personally don't use switch a lot because everything you can do with a switch, you can do it with an if. There are some specific cases in which switch can come in handy, so you can use it. In object-oriented programming, there is another methodology to do this type of instructions, really, to resolve this situation. But for today, this was more than enough. Thank you for listening and see you in the next tutorial.